and welcome back to Studio 21's first episode of the new semester. I'm your host, Audrey.
And I'm Mia. Today we have in store for you a look at the TU Complaints Instagram account, a view of Central Market's Citrus Festival event, a review of Godzilla -1, and we're checking out a unique art exhibit created by Trinity's many talented art students.
So stay tuned for all this and more. Welcome to this semester's first Gossip Guru. I'm Audrey.
And I'm Mia. And today's gossip is about the controversial TU Complaints Instagram page, which has continued posting into the new semester. The page anonymously posts submissions that students send in. The complaints range from the state of the facilities or annoyances about other students to full-on month-long debates.
One of these debates is the eternal college feud, STEM majors versus arts and humanities majors. The original complaint about English and business majors was posted on October 2nd last year, but the discussion has only slowed down this semester. The last comment about the topic simply stated, STEM boys, that's the complaint, on January 27th.
I'm not really surprised this is the debate on the page. Some people would argue against each other even if there wasn't an Instagram account for it. People have always fought over what majors are supposedly better or worse to have.
Yeah, you would think we could all just respect each other, especially being at a liberal arts school. Every major has pluses and minuses. The only real difference between what major is worth getting is how much work the effort the individual is willing to put in.
You know, some people submitted the actual responses on the debate. Others commented that the degree is difficult to get or made fun of the entire discussion, but for now the debate has cooled off.
More recently, the students' submissions have focused on stealing from the pod and maybe market. This began with a post on December 8th saying, "Bring back the pod stealing meta." Later submissions commented that the theft never stopped or that there are rumors that Trinity is upping their security.
There were also people against stealing because they believe it's wrong to steal. Now, the bulk of the debate centers around whether or not it's moral to steal from Trinity because of the high food prices and cost of tuition.
Love or hate the drama, it sure is interesting to read. That's all for this week's Gossip Guru.
Now, please enjoy the music video of the week, Like That by Chad Future.
What is your name? And what is your sign?
Yeah,
style. Look at you, girl, looking so fine. Notice the way when I stare in your eyes.
I don't know why.
cannot think of a better design. Body on 10 and I'm loving your smile. Let's slow it down, let me stay for a while.
Yeah. I didn't know they made a new Godzilla movie.
Show you things you never seen and call you mine. Caught up in a vibe like that. Caught up in a ride like that. Everything I said, no cap like that, like that, like that. Every day, any place, I'ma give it to you, baby, everywhere. I know it'll get no better. I can lay right here forever. Let me show you just what I mean back. I love the way you do it like that,
I've been a student season, and whenever I'm driving at night, like I
come back. I love the way you do it like that, like that. I know that you're mine, love certified. I love the way you do it like that, like that. Let me know you'll always come back, come back. I love the way you do it like that, like that. I know that you're mine, love certified. Playing it cool, but got me so shy. Shorty a 10, hop in my ride. Come over tonight, we gonna slide. Fit in my tight, let's get inside. This ain't a contract, you sign it forever. We can just chill and let's call whatever. Don't be shy when I hop in my ride. We can go up, got a house in the sky. Think I recognize you from my dream. Maybe jumped out when the movie screen. Outside cool, but I'm feeling butterflies. I'm so lost when I look in your eyes.
Actually, it's kind of too late.
Caught up in a vibe like that. Caught up in a ride like that. Everything I said, no cap like that, like that, like that.
It's pretty much. Well, used to. They don't work anymore. There's no contact that happens.
I can lay right here forever. Let me show you just what I mean, babe. I love the way you do it like that, like that. It lets me know you'll always come back, come back. I love the way you do it like that, like that. I know that you might love certified. I love the way you do it like that, like that. It lets me know you'll always come back, come back. I love the way you do it like that, like that. I know that you might love certified. With you I'm better. What they say about you no matter. Think about you like 247 non-stop. I love the way you do it like that, like that. It lets me know you'll always come back, come back. I love the way you do it like that, like that. I know that you might love certified. I love the way you do it like that, like that. It lets me know you'll always come back, come back. I love the way you do it like that, like that. I know that you might love certified. Now everybody say, yeah. Don't you know I like that? Yeah, you know I like that. Yeah, girl, I'll always like that. I'ma give it to you, I'ma give it to you like that. Yeah, don't you know I like that? Yeah, you know I like that. Girl, I'll always like that. I'ma give it to you, I'ma give it to you like that.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Release Date. My name is Zane.
And I'm Audrey.
Today we'll start by talking about a recent re-release of one of my favorite films from last year, Godzilla Minus One Minus Color.
Godzilla Minus One released around the middle of last month and is the first Japanese Godzilla movie released in about 7 years. The film is directed by Takashi Yamazaki and follows a man named Shikishima, a pilot in World War II, who, after ducking his duties as a kamikaze pilot, has an encounter with the titular monster that leaves him shaken and traumatized. As Godzilla goes on a rampage through Japan, Shikishima, alongside some allies, vows to defeat the monster. This re-release is the original film, but in black and white.
I'll first talk about the film itself, then the new version specifically. I absolutely love this movie. I wouldn't say I'm a huge Godzilla fan by any means, but I've enjoyed what I've seen. The film is the first in the series to return to the post-war era of Japan since the films actually made during that time period. This film gets back to the roots of the franchise as an allegorical warning against the use of nuclear weapons. In addition to this, the film is able to bounce a whole host of themes, such as found family, PTSD, what it means to be patriotic, survivor's guilt, and much more. The movie manages to never sacrifice narrative or thematic cohesion to communicate these ideas either, which is very impressive. The narrative and characters are all very compelling, with each character having a distinct and lovable personality that is so easy to get attached to. The film also uses color extremely well, with some of my favorite examples being the oppressive browns and grays of nuclear fallout being cut through by the extraordinarily and terrifyingly bright turquoise of Godzilla's famous atomic breath. The CGI and visual effects are also stunning. The beauty and complexity I don't think has ever looked better for Godzilla. Now, as for the black and white release itself, I overall have a positive opinion about it. The black and white colors in combination with the artificial film grain evokes the visual style of the original film, subtle foreshadowing on my part, which is very cool to see. It would appear to me that lighting changes were made post-production to accommodate for the black and white, which is great, as really dark scenes, for the most part, maintain the visual clarity they had in the original version. I must say, for most shots, I find the conversion to be pretty neutral and not additive in any meaningful way, but for one particular sequence, which I won't spoil, the movie looked like it was meant it to be in black and white for those few beautiful seconds. Besides being blown away by that, I think that this is a fine, albeit certainly not the definitive way to watch the film. It certainly has enough love and care put into it where it can't be dismissed as a novelty, and is worthwhile if you like the original version. Catch it while you can, because it'll only be showing through this Friday. Next up, as I alluded to earlier, we'll be talking about the original 1954 Godzilla film.
Godzilla, originally released in 1954 and directed by Ishiro Honda, is a landmark, if not the most important film in the Japanese monster genre known as kaiju. The film follows scientists, soldiers, and civilians from all across Japan as they try to figure out the origin of and a way to defeat Godzilla.
This film plays more like a socio-political PSA against the use of nuclear weapons than one might think at first glance. The film generally steers away from a more grounded, character-driven narrative, that is until Act 3, in favor of a more broad and far-reaching story involving all the bureaucracy and conflicting views in the times of such a crisis. Godzilla is also much more overtly a representation of a second America-caused nuclear disaster for Japan, as he is the result of a mutation from American nuclear tests in the sea near Japan. Now, as good as I think Act 1 and 2 are, and how essential I think they are in setting up the direct political call to action the movie makes in its final scene, Act 3 manages to blend a more character-driven story with a morally and politically complex one, resulting in what feels to me like a noticeable imbalance in quality in the film. Despite how harsh that sounds, I don't think it's a severe detriment to the film, and I would even go so far as to say that despite its flaws, it's essential the film's narrative be presented in this way, lest the message lose its impact. Is it a perfect film? No. Is it a great monster movie with a poignant political message relevant to both its time and now? Absolutely. Plus, Takashi Shimura, who is one of my favorite actors, is in it. I've seen both of these Godzilla films 3 times each for good reason, and I highly recommend checking them out. That's all we have for release date. I'm Zane.
And I'm Audrey. Thanks for watching, and please enjoy a look at the Central Market Citrus Festival.
Hi, my name's Kate and we're back at Central Market for Citrus Fest 2024. It's taking place from January 10th to January 23rd, and it's reminiscent of the Passaporte Portugal from last semester that we aired on our Local Finds segment. So we are very excited to see what we have in store for us today. Up first, we have a yuzu matcha tea with orange juice and honey. Interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but it's good for like a nice summer day, very refreshing. So here we have French sparkling lemonades. First is an original flavor, and then we have mango and wild strawberry. So I'll start with the original. Reminiscent of a sparkling water type thing, I'd say. Which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I like the lemonade twist. This is the mango. I like that one better. And then wild strawberry. Very, very good. I think my favorite is the mango though. Delicious. Okay, now we have a lemon ricotta cheesecake with an orange fig spread. This looks really good, right up my alley. And this is from Italy. It's delicious. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I'm very picky about my cheesecake. This is tangerine orange bread with tangerine butter. I really like the butter. I've never had butter that wasn't normal flavored. This is good. Okay, let me give it one more. This is like a nice, birds are chirping, I'm sitting on my patio type of vibe. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 just because I like bread a lot, so I've had a lot of bread. But this is really good. I like the butter a lot. Okay, now we have orange torta with lemon ricotta. And this orange flavored torta is only available this time of year, so better come get it. Lots of ricotta. Oh, wow. That's amazing. The lemon ricotta's gotta be a 10 out of 10. The torta, I'm not a huge fan of. That's kind of like meh, but together, very good. Here we have a sumo orange. That is sweet.
That's good. But not great.
All the weird
It'll be a 7 out of 10.
$5. It was so weird. Like, I guess it's wholesale, but. Recently, the Trinity Art Department opened its newest ACT exhibit showcasing 5 Trinity student works. Here's a look into what all through the artists themselves. Ellie Perrier is a junior art major from Chicago whose work was inspired by Christo and Jean-Claude's manipulation of light, color, space, and material. Ellie went into this project looking to create something with an airy, ephemeral feeling where layers overlap to create an entirely new experience. The work showcases themes of traditional femininity and a contrast between the softness associated with traditionally feminine roles and the pain and stress they require. Laundry seems like an easy task until you remember that it's a never-ending task. Like cooking, it becomes an endless and repetitive style. Jaden Morgan is an art major specializing in surrealist drawings and paintings. His works speak to the significance of raw emotions as well as the intellectualization of these emotions as a means of understanding abstract feelings. The artwork attempts to capture the duality of human sensibilities and ultimately relate to how people respond to their own intuitions. Whether through suppression or actualization, these works emphasize the importance of tending to one's emotional needs in any form. Madeline Albert is a lifelong mixed media artist specializing in surrealist work. She employs bright and sometimes overwhelming colors as a reflection of her perception of the world. Each piece is connected by common symbols, from recurring characters to shared scenes meant to be individually analyzed yet collectively connected together to one another. Her intention is for the viewer to connect these puzzle pieces together from work to work, from experience to experience, and to sort out and compartmentalize what the experience means to them. Jacob Iverson is an art and communication double major at Trinity, focused on digital and analog photography, as well as experimental editing and printing methods. His work, Inner Workings, is an exploration of experience of emotion and its subsequent activity, rather unconscious or conscious. These slices of emotional being invite the viewer to investigate the ever-present current of feeling within them, inviting pause to reckon with the possibilities of those currents. And lastly, Pedro Ordóñez Acosta is a senior at Trinity, and he was born in Reynosa, Mexico, but was forced to flee to the US due to insecurity and cartel violence. Acosta has found an appeal towards both cultures in his work. The bold colors from his work come from seeing Mexican neighborhoods and festive colors. Fascinated by creating layers hidden with figures and color combinations, he enjoys focusing on a central figurative abstraction that makes the viewer question what they are seeing. By abstracting an object, he makes it more personal to the viewer and prompting them to spend more time with the piece and figure out whether or not what they see is correct. If you would like to see these works of art in person, the gallery is free and open to the public on weekdays from 1 to 5 p.m. until February 10th and is located right on campus inside the Dickey Smith Art Building.